Ah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever this video finds you, welcome to Raw Dogs Radio. I'm joined here today by Brian Snowman. Snowman in the morning. We're gonna talk a little sports. Good 2 hours leading up to the games. How you doing
Yep,
there?
I'm great. I'm putting final pieces together for a doubleheader stream this afternoon. My wife made her picks. My children made their picks. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll, man.
Uh, yeah, I think what it is, a lot of people they're ready for this, but
Mhm.
if I'm gonna say this right now.
Go
Say this
ahead.
right now. If the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl because of a couple of questionable
Questionable
calls,
calls. Yep.
nobody's going to watch this Super Bowl.
Oh, I will, because I'm planning to do a stream for it. I
Well,
had
yeah, I
success.
mean,
I had success last year, and I'm going to have more success this year.
for
And I
us, it's a
plan to have,
business.
yeah, it's good for business because I plan to make that. I plan to turn that into $1,000 goal.
There you go. Yeah, for us that do the sports thing. Well, I don't do the sports thing for a living. For me, it's a distraction. It's a distraction.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but
Fair enough.
for those that do, y'all do what y'all do. So, the biggest thing coming out the gate that I think we should talk about, and unfortunately, what are you doing? Is the biggest hire in the off season for quote unquote America's team
I thought
is
the Chiefs
Brian
already had a
Schottenheimer.
coach.
I'm sorry,
I thought the Chiefs already had a coach.
America's team,
Oh, damn.
not Hollywood's team.
Oh,
America's
okay.
team.
America's team.
America's team.
Dear God in heaven.
Ugh.
Let's talk about it.
The Cowboys hire offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer as their next head coach.
Does
Whew.
anybody really give 2/5 of a half of a damn?
You know, you have to look at. Matter of fact, let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do
let's.
it. Let's look at the Cowboys coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Over. Well, whoop, dang it. Okay, so let's look at it. All right, so here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got. Let's see here. Do they have it in? They don't have it in order.
Of course they don't. Why are you surprised?
Right. So let's start with after. I mean, we can pretty much after Tom Landry, who was fired in 2000. We get that. We get that. He was an old man. It had been a while. It was pretty much time to move on. But you should have bought him out.
They didn't, because Landry was fired in 88, and at that time Jerry Jones had finished the purchase of the Cowboys. So 89, Jimmy Johnson shows up, brings them 2 Super Bowls, and then old Gerald realized, hey, Jimmy Johnson's getting bigger than me. I can't have that. So the rest is history.
Right. So you should have bought out Tom Landry. And then, of course, you bring in Jimmy. Like you said, he won 2 Super Bowls, really 3, because Barry Switzer won a Super Bowl with
Barry Switzer's team was Jimmy Johnson's team. Yep.
Right. But if you notice, out of this whole list, all right, the only person that was not a butt kisser that coached the Cowboys was Bill Parcells.
It was Bill Parcells. Because Bill Parcells kissed nobody's butt.
Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I got you. So, everybody after Bill Parcells, Barry Switzer, counting Barry Switzer, everybody after Bill Parcells was pretty much a yes man.
Yep.
Like McCarthy,
Mm-hmm.
He was a yes man. Chan Gailey was a yes man. Jason Garrett was definitely a yes man.
If you
Dave,
don't think Jason Garrett was a yes man, you ain't been watching.
exactly. Dave Campo. All right.
They're either
Wade
yes
Phillips.
man. They're either yes man since Jimmy Johnson, since Bill Parcells. I beg your pardon. They're either butt kissers or names that make you go, huh? Or in my case, the correct answer, both.
Wonder what that means.
Sorry, my phone is a flurry of activity. It was quiet up until a
You
minute
push the
ago.
button until you push the button and we came on air.
Yeah, now all of a sudden it's
That's
got
my phone. That's my phone 5 days a week before I go on the air with the morning show.
yeah, it's chirping. So Brian Schottenheimer,
Oh God,
son of Marty Schottenheimer.
where's my button? Where's
Please
the
press
button
it.
I'm looking for?
Oh, hell no!
There. I got more.
This your guy here, Karam?
Yeah.
This your guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he hops on during the morning show a lot. That was a terrible. You better believe, Arku, it was a terrible hire.
Oh my God.
Made real Cowboy fans go
Oh, hell no!
and wish that they had been given a
Come on!
right upside the head.
Brian Schottenheimer is a prime example
Of
of
kisser.
the apple not falling far from the tree.
Ain't that the truth?
Not only did the apple fall like 100 miles off the tree, it rolled downhill, hit a stream, and showed up in freaking Arkansas somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no. He's terrible. What's his name? Michael Irvin. He was on his podcast, his YouTube channel. I didn't even know he had a YouTube channel.
Nor did I.
Yeah, I didn't know he had a YouTube channel. Was on there, bitching, moaning, whining, crying, you know, the whole little girl stuff.
The usual. The
usual. You know, and I get it, but what you need if you're going to hire a head coach, you're going to need either a Bill Parcells type or a Jimmy Johnson type, which is a leader amongst men.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Schottenheimer is not that.
Brian Schottenheimer ain't it.
No, he's not
close.
that.
Not even close.
So I would look for the Cowboys to be just as mediocre as they were last year.
They had a losing record, and I expect them to have a worse record.
Right. So I don't expect anything big from them.
Nor do I.
So let's move on from these idiots.
You think the same way I do, and I love it.
Right. I'm done with them. So the Jets,
Oh,
which
jeez.
I think is okay. Like when it comes to front office disasters,
You got
All
a
right.
tie, Jets and Cowboys.
I think the Jets are worse. At
You know
least,
what? I'm inclined to agree.
the Cowboys are ran by a billionaire. Okay, at least they're run by a billionaire. Whereas the Jets, they're run by the billionaire's 18-year-old son,
And that ain't changing, unfortunately.
who goes by Madden ratings to rate players.
Uh-huh.
I said to myself, if anybody takes that Jets job, you know, as far as a head coach, they're in it just for the money.
Yep. And
They're in it
guess what?
They gave it to Aaron Glenn. Let's read this. Let me read this. Aaron Glenn is back in Gotham Green. The New York Jets are hiring Glenn as the club's full-time head coach. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported Wednesday. Poor source. Yeah.
Try again.
It's Georgia. We have the heat on. I am dry.
I get it. I got two things. I got 2 cups of drink sitting right here next to me. I get it. I do. Listen, besides use my voice for a living, I drink water for a living to keep my voice intact. I'm going to change that routine because I'm going to add a few electrolytes to it, thanks to a suggestion from my wife. But yeah, this is what I do for a living. I understand more than you know. I understand.
You see why this water is murky?
Mm-hmm.
Apple electrolytes. Apple electrolytes.
Yeah.
Apple flavored, rather. All right, let's get into this. Per sources informed of the situation, the Jets later officially
right there. Per sources familiar with the situation. See that line right there.
Say Jerry is the problem. Yeah, he is. Let's get back to this.
He's been the problem.
See, this place is special for me, Glenn said in a statement on Wednesday. From the time I was drafted and practiced on Long Island to the time I came back as a scout in New Jersey, this organization has always felt like home. I'm thankful for Mr. Woody Johnson for this opportunity. To our players, prepare to be coached with everything we have. That is our responsibility. I ask that we share the same vision that's working towards winning a championship. To our fans, simply put, expect a winning team that you will be proud of. Following the Detroit Lions playoff exit, the Jets were Glenn's first in-person interview after meeting with multiple teams virtually during the hiring process. That's because other coaches like Ben Johnson wouldn't talk to you. They wouldn't talk to you. The former defensive coordinator also planned to meet with the New Orleans Saints regarding their open coaching position. Oh, we're going to do the Saints. We'll get to them. We'll
get to New Orleans.
Yeah.
We will get to New Orleans.
It's a return to where it all started for the 52-year-old Glenn, a gangrene first-round pick in 94 out of Texas A&M. The cornerback spent 8 seasons playing for the Jets, earning 2 Pro Bowl bids before getting swiped by the Houston Texans in the 2002 expansion draft at age 30. Wow.
Of course.
If you were good, you wouldn't have been swiped. I'm excited to welcome Aaron Glenn home as the head coach of the New York Jets, Jets owner Woody Johnson said in a statement on Wednesday. Aaron earned this opportunity through almost 3 decades of NFL experience, 10 with us as a player and a scout. He brings tremendous leadership skills and the vision this organization needs to be successful. I am thrilled to see him lead this team. Wow. What's the Jets' biggest need?
Jesus. Hey, you asked an honest question. I gave you an honest answer.
Yes, you did. I would say quarterback. As far as on the field.
repeating my sentence.
They need a quarterback desperately.
They're not going to get one.
Personally, I put it to you like, go ahead. Tell me why they.
Because the New York Jets are too stupid to realize they need a quarterback.
I would say, let's say that they wanted to draft one. All right. Because the top free agent quarterback that's out there, all right, is Sam Darnold.
And would you really want to take a chance on Sam Darnold again?
Sam Darnold is not coming back to the Jets.
If Sam Darnold is smart, he wouldn't return to the Jets.
Right. He's not coming back. So the Jets, they're going to have to go the draft route.
And I've been saying in the draft.
Well, here's the thing. You've got, in all honesty, let's look at the quarterbacks in the draft that the Jets have a chance to get, but they're going to have to do some serious trading in order to get them. And they're not going to get the number 1 pick.
They got to free up the capital first.
Right. So
because all that capital that was free has been invested. In whom, you ask? Talk to Aaron Rodgers.
Just go. He's retired. He might as well retire.
He might as
well retire. I don't know any team that's stupid enough to take a chance on Aaron Rodgers after what they saw this previous season. Not to mention his age, outside of maybe the Jets again. That depends on if the Jets decide to re-sign him.
That's a big if.
Ooh,
That's a huge if.
I wouldn't do it.
And again, as I said, who are we talking about here?
Talking about the Jets, led by an 18-year-old.
They need Jesus. There's your answer.
Yeah,
They need two things. They need Jesus and they need a miracle.
Led by an 18-year-old.
Unfortunately, given the fact that an 18-year-old is making all the decisions instead of the person that's supposed to be in charge, they're getting neither.
If I was them, let's go back. Let's look at the quarterbacks that they have a shot at. You definitely don't have a shot at. I think the Giants might go after either Sanders or Ward.
Be a mistake either way.
Right. Now, personally,
because Shedeur Sanders is not ready.
When it comes to us as Browns fans, we don't want him.
Good. You shouldn't.
No, we don't. Because in the NFC, cut all the Dion garbage out. Cut all that yickety yak,
come on,
blickety black crap out.
As my friend Cole says, all the chip and the chap in Browns country is about Shedeur Sanders and how he would help that team. And I'm sorry to say,
where's that coming from?
I know a few people.
Who would name these people? I'm like the guy running for PM in Canada. Who are these people?
Oh, I know.
Name the sources.
Name the sources. Half the people that listen to my sports show. How about that?
Oh Lord. Well,
I mean, look. Okay, let me be. All right. All kidding aside.
Okay, all kidding aside.
All kidding aside.
Oh shoot, I'm under the wrong.
It was supposed to be a foregone conclusion that Shedeur and his father would end up in Dallas. Now neither one of those things are now happening.
I was thinking that they may have wound up in Vegas. I think Vegas would have been the perfect spot for them as far as coach and quarterback. And that's still a possibility as far as quarterback.
But not as coach.
Right, but not as coach.
Because if Pop ain't coming, neither is Shedeur.
Which is cut the apron strings. Shedeur, do yourself a favor, cut the apron strings.
Do what Lonzo Ball finally did and cut the apron strings, will you please?
Yeah. Let him be his own man. But as far as Shedeur in Cleveland, the general consensus that my circles are talking about is size, mobility. All right, size, mobility, and
ability to read a defense
and escapability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, size, mobility, escapability. That's the NFC North. The AFC North.
Yep.
AFC North. Look at the quarterbacks who are there. All right, you got Lamar Jackson, big dude. He don't look big, but he is big. He's a big guy.
He is.
He's a big dude. He's very mobile. He can get in and out of the pocket. Very athletic. He can play
in a hurry. He can get out of there in a hurry.
The Steelers, when they were good, Ben Roethlisberger, big, mobile,
and an arm.
Right. The Bengals with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is not a little guy.
Mm-mm.
I don't know why people think that Joe Burrow is a little guy. That dude is
because they haven't seen him in person. That's why.
He is right. He is big. He is cock diesel. He's not fat.
He is built. Okay. I saw him at LSU. All right. My wife and I both saw him at LSU play one day. We were both like, wow, look at this kid.
Yeah. Plus, you've got the best pass rushers in the NFL play in the AFC
In
North.
the AFC North. Yeah.
Those guys will put a licking on you. You got Henderson.
Those guys will beat you up.
Yeah, you got Henderson, Garrett, Watt. Who's the guy with the Ravens? The Ravens got several guys because they send the blitz. They like the blitz a lot. You know, they're a very physical team, just like the Steelers. They're a very physical team.
Yes.
Right. When the Bengals, when they were the previous years, when they were making the playoffs, their defense was very physical, especially at the line of scrimmage. And nothing's changed except they got a finally changed defensive coordinators.
They finally got smart.
Yeah. They fixed the offensive line to hire the defense coordinator. Hopefully they can be ferocious, just like the Browns hired a new defensive coordinator. And although they slipped up last year, the year prior, they were very physical. You remember that Niners game?
Top 5 defense in the NFL.
And slapping people around. They do not play. You have to play physical football. So, yeah, Sanders, he's not. Plus the attitude. The biggest thing that we didn't like about Baker was his personality.
Right.
Right, because he thought he was bigger than the team. It wasn't until after getting knocked around, being with the Panthers, being with the Rams, and then eventually finding his way to the Jaguars. Not the Jaguars, the Buccaneers. You know, that he finally came into himself and started being the Baker Mayfield we expected him to be in Cleveland, except he's down, you know, with the Bucks doing it. But
he's down in Tampa.
Look, the guy is down there running over linebackers, okay? In playoff games.
Running over linebackers, running into linebackers, running through linebackers.
It is what it is. So if the Jets if they were to move up to get maybe who we got, Sanders, we got Milroe, you've got, let's see, people talking about Dart. I know nothing about Dart. What do you know about this Dart kid?
He plays at Ole Miss.
That's all you know. Oh crap. Oops.
Look, I'm trying to start people, all these draft nerds are contacting me. And I love them dearly. Are you going to do a draft show again this year? I'll answer that question. Yes, I am. And you know the person who talked me into this? Your phone's off the hook today.
Let's take a look at this kid. All right, so let's take a look.
Dart looks left.
Jackson Dart.
All right, let's take a look here. Let's back it up. All right, so he ran for no reason. Sure, it's a touchdown, but he didn't have to run. He had time in the pocket. He had a clean pocket.
He had a clean pocket, and he had wide open receivers. He did not have to extend himself.
All right, let's take a look here. Play action pass, eyes downfield, scans.
Clean pocket, good arm. Okay. Good arm. And what helped him there is that the receiver almost immediately got separation, and Dart had time to come back to him. That I like.
All right, quick decision making. I mean, of course, you know, with these highlights, they just usually show the big plays.
They show the best stuff.
I like that. Wait, this is what I like in a quarterback. All right, so here's your targets. Watch his head movement, because the biggest thing that works in a quarterback's favor is the ability to sell the play. So watch his head movement.
He looked off
Yep.
Right there.
Look.
He looked off a safety.
Yep. Looked off the safety. Looked off his main target. Came back to him. Boom.
He
That's
looked
very
off,
smart.
he looked off for safety and had time to quickly scan and come back to his main target because that receiver was his number one receiver. But he had to look off the safety who was guarding him.
He did it again on that play.
Yep.
Eyes downfield. Okay.
He keeps his eyes downfield. That's a good quality.
Let's see what he does when he's in trouble. Let's see if that's in there. Oh, okay. There it is.
Mhm.
All right. So, are you familiar with Will Howard out of Ohio State?
I am.
Will Howard he's bigger than Dart. He's
Mhm.
like what, 6'4", 236?
Yeah.
He does the same thing. The only problem that I don't like with Will Howard is that he doesn't look off his first read.
No.
Okay.
No. He tends to stay with his first read.
Which is oh wow.
Look at that pass.
You got to blame that on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
I like Will Howard, as you know, even though the people in the Cleveland group, because he's an Ohio State player. And what's funny is that the same people who are saying, well, that's because he played for Ohio State. These are the same people that want Justin Fields. Help me make that make sense.
Case rested.
Like, where did Justin Fields play in college?
I believe he finished at Ohio State. Didn't start there, but he finished there.
Yeah, and the Steelers they're keeping him. The Steelers are keeping him. For the record.
Mm-hmm.
For the record. So he's not going anywhere. More than likely, Russell Wilson, he'll be out. Okay.
They'll keep Fields and they'll elevate him.
Exactly. So
they will start him.
Where do you think Russell will go? Do you think he'll go to Oakland? LA.
Who gives 2/5 of a half of a damn? Russell Wilson is cooked. Russell Wilson's more cooked than this chicken lunch I had just a moment ago. Russell Wilson is CO-ooked.
Yeah. I think he would find his way back to, well, depending on if
he'll
the
sign
rumors
a
are
contract
true
with Seattle and retire.
I wonder if the rumors are true about him and Pete Carroll, where he wanted Pete Carroll fired.
Pete Carroll screwed with him and tried to make him a better quarterback, and Russell Wilson wasn't having it and got him fired. They're absolutely true. They're absolutely true. Come on, this is Russell Wilson we're talking about here.
Yeah. So I doubt he'll find his way back to the Raiders.
He's not hitting the Raiders. Okay.
He's going to be somebody's backup. Maybe the Giants.
If he finds his way to the Raiders, he'll be at the longest end of the bench.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
That was a beautiful throw on the run. I'm sorry, I'm going through it, but I'm watching these highlights at the same time, so that way I can get a feel for this kid. Okay, so now I'm starting to understand why. People, as far as in the group, why they like this kid, why they like Jackson Dart. I see it now.
Right there. That's a quick read about who's open. Nobody was open. The lane open. The lane parted like the Red Sea. Take it.
So who do you think?
This is an underrated quarterback that's in the draft. Unfortunately, he's going to wind up with a team that thinks they know how to develop a quarterback, but don't.
Where do you think what round and what team you think?
I have a guess as a pure, unadulterated joke and a joke only. Round 3, Chicago.
Why Chicago?
Because Caleb Williams ain't him. How's that for a reason?
That's a reason.
Because Caleb Williams don't know how to read a blank defense. How about that for a reason? Because Caleb Williams doesn't have the footwork. Because Caleb Williams doesn't have the development. Because Caleb Williams' best days were at Norman, Oklahoma. Specifically, they were in Dallas, Texas in one game against the Oklahoma Sooners, and he had to be called in from the bench to rescue that game because Spencer Rattler the bed.
Oh my God, the Saints. We'll get to them. Speaking of that, while we're on Chicago, Ben Johnson. I know you hate Chicago.
Ben Johnson's about to fail.
I know you hate
Chicago. Set up to fail. He is set up to fail.
You think he's set up to fail? Because of quarterback? Because of Caleb Williams?
Come on now. You can have the best quarterback in the world. If you don't have an offensive line, you're going to fail. Just ask Dallas. Matter of fact, more to the point, just ask New Orleans.
So, all right, let's take a look at it. Hold on. Let's take a look
I like
at
this
it.
kid Jackson Dart, though, but he's going to end up somewhere he's not supposed to be. Now, this is pure speculation, and this is a guess and a half, but I'm just saying.
I'm listening.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying. The way the draft works now, teams are so excited on the flash plays, and they don't look at the other stuff like we're looking at. Can he look off a defense? Does he have time does he use his time in the pocket well? Does his footwork come into play at any time? If he chooses to run, can he get down and slide after getting the first down? Because half of the quarterbacks in the NFL today don't know where the sticks are. If you choose to run and you got a wide open lane to get to the sticks, get to the sticks.
The sticks. Excuse me.
But as my wife made the joke this morning, I'm not supposed to know this stuff.
Let's look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, from what I saw last year, watching the Bears, you say they need an offensive line
Desperately.
and they also need they need a running back because what they had out there was pathetic.
For the last 2 years, it's been pathetic. The stupidest thing the Bears did was let David Montgomery walk. Stupidest thing they've ever done. Now you bring in DeAndre Swift to try to plug that hole. Don't use him. Which partially led to Uber Fools getting fired. And Uber Fools shouldn't have been the coach of the Bears anyway.
Plus, he's a little guy. He's a third down scat back.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a starter.
In a first down situation. You know why they went after DeAndre Swift? Because of one game he played the previous year for Philadelphia against the Minnesota Vikings, where the Eagles allowed him to run for 178 yards. They don't have the running back. They're not going to get a running back because they don't know how to use a running back. Period.
Let me tell you something. If the developing Lions let go of you, you're not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not worth it. The only one I would say that was worth it, who was the tight end that they let go that wound up going to Minnesota? Hawkinson?
TJ Hawkinson.
Right, Hawkinson. They should, in all honesty, they should have kept him, but they upgraded.
If they kept him, Sam Laporta wouldn't be there.
Exactly.
That's the premier tight end.
Laporta is he's faster. He's a faster tight end.
Laporta is better than TJ, period.
Killed him.
In terms of blocking, especially in terms of run blocking, in terms of catching the ball, getting downfield, and oh, by the way, holding on to the football.
Oh Lord, shades of Mark Andrews.
Find the lie. Hey, as I say often, and you've heard me say, find the lie.
Oh my God, shades of Mark Andrews.
Shades of Mark Andrews.
So you think, let's see, with their first overall pick, 10th overall, you think they'll go left tackle?
Who are we talking about here?
Chicago.
Next question.
All right. Second round. Maybe left guard.
Guard or tackle.
Yeah, guard or
Because
tackle.
we're talking about the Bears in the first round here. How many times
Go ahead.
How many times have they had a first round pick and they it up? Caleb Williams, hello.
And before him?
Justin freaking Fields.
And before first round pick.
Justin freaking Fields.
Really? They lost all those picks because of him?
Look, they traded up to get Justin Fields and they blew it. They traded up with the New York Football Giants, God help us all, to get Justin Fields.
Didn't build a team around him.
No, they let Justin Fields run for his life. Pittsburgh snatched him, and now the Bears are regretting it because Caleb Williams is going to sit in the pocket and be on his ass all the time. So if you want to build the line, you build it in the third round and beyond. Unless you're the Detroit Lions and you snatch Penei Sewell out of Oregon. Unless you're the San Diego Chargers and you select his name is escaping me. He played at Northwestern, but or you select him. Is there a guard or a tackle worthy of being drafted in the first round?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say 10th overall, a franchise left tackle.
You ain't gonna find him. Not in the first. Not like I said, unless you're Penei Sewell. And everybody's drooling over you like the Detroit Lions did. But the Lions acted on it and got it right.
Let's go to Tankathon. Yeah, that's the name. Look, Tankathon.
I see it.
Okay, let's go big board. Let's see. Offensive tackles. All right, so with your left tackles, you're looking at, left and right tackles, but, you're looking at Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks, Josh Simmons, Josh Connerly, some guy named Ursary, Cameron Williams. And you see this is, how they got them ranked as far as possible draft order. They got the 10th overall pick. You probably got about anybody. I would say anybody past Will Campbell, you'll probably have a shot at. All right, let's see. Hold on. Let's go to the full order. Okay, so Tennessee, they're talking about going after a generational talent. So they're not moving off of their first round pick. Right. Cleveland might trade down. I was saying that if I was, running the Browns, I would either want to trade down with either Vegas or the Jets. But if I'm trading down with you, not only do I want your slot, I want your second, third, and possibly your fourth round pick.
Yep.
Yeah. If not, your second, third, and a player, which would have to be a wide receiver.
I'm going to interject something really quick. I will tell you, because I'm looking at the offensive I'm gonna mark this site because this is going to be huge when I do my draft coverage.
Oh, your Tankathon?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at this. Okay. I will tell you right now who my 49ers are going to select at offensive tackle to help out Trent Williams because Dominic Mooney
getting ready to retire.
Oh, he's got 3 years left in him. He's got 3 years. He's got 3 years left in him. But you do want to pick his replacement. But while you have the best left tackle in the game, you keep him. his injuries that are piling up are starting to worry me. So, with that in mind, I say the Niners go after Josh Simmons.
Josh Simmons. All right.
It's a toss-up for me between Kelvin Banks and Josh Simmons because the Niners are picking 11th in the first round. And they may get some more compensatory picks. Look at that line. Look at how many picks they got coming up this year. Look at how many picks they got coming up this year.
You got 11.
Mm-hmm. And
3 in the 7th, 1 in the 6th, 3 in the 4th,
Mm-hmm.
2 in the 3rd,
1 in the 2nd, and 1 in the 1st.
Y'all definitely need another.
The first thing the Niners need to do is get healthy because they had a litany of injuries at key positions.
What about trading? Mr. Ill Content. I can't think of his name right now.
Position?
Wide receiver.
Brandon Ayuk?
No. Brandon
Deebo
Ayuk
Samuel.
is cool. He got his money.
Deebo Samuel.
Yeah. What about trading Deebo Samuels now that you've got Ricky Pearsall playing? He survived being shot.
I want to cuss, but I won't. Hell no. Keep him.
You want to keep him?
You keep Deebo Samuel. If for no other reason, you have a backup to Christian McCaffrey just in case McCaffrey doesn't heal properly.
Well, your running back. Who is the running back that filled in for McCaffrey?
We got a good stable of running backs, but remember who's the team that started using their wide receiver as a running back out of necessity? That would be San Francisco.
Yeah.
You want to keep that element of surprise. But as long as we have Garendo, Jordan Mason, number 25. I can't.
Is he still fast? He seemed like he lost a step.
Who's that?
Your boy.
McCaffrey.
No.
Mason?
No. You're just talking about him.
I can't think of his name.
Sorry, I'm multitasking.
Number 25. Say again?
The wide receiver. We're just talking about him.
Oh, Deebo Samuel.
Right. He looked like he lost a step.
He was hurt. He had a bad injury second half of the year, and then Ricky Pearsall developed. Those two factors led to Samuel not getting enough touches.
Okay. If he was hurt, then all right, then keep him.
You want to keep that lineup together. You want to continue to establish your continuity.
I would just rather get faster at wide receiver.
Oh, they're faster. Ricky, well, let me say this: they're going to find a receiver in the late rounds, and draft him. They're going to get him in that system, and they're going to build him up. Watch, but it'll be a late round where they have him. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm looking at while he was doing that because this is what I was doing. I was looking at, of course, these are mock draft selections. I think it's just weird that they think that we'll take Abdul Carter 2 overall, and then Cameron Williams at the top of the 2nd, then Isaiah Bond, and then Jackson Dart. I don't think Dart will be around come the 3rd round, simply because, okay, like when you look at, all right, hold on. Let's go full order. All right, let's take a look at teams that, where are you guys? Okay, let's look at teams that definitely need a quarterback. All right, so Tennessee might stick with Levis. We'll see, but Cleveland definitely needs one. The Giants need one. The Raiders need one. The Jets need one. New Orleans needs one. Okay. Indianapolis, they might take a shot at somebody because let's be serious. Anthony Richardson looks like Tim Tebow. He is just terrible. Seattle, there's no telling what they might do. So let's throw them in there as far as quarterback for the future. All right. So you're looking at 7 teams. Pittsburgh. Who knows? Who knows? But since they're a question mark, we'll throw them in there. And definitely the Rams. Okay, definitely the Rams. Because your boy is getting old out there. All right, your boy is getting old out there. He's 14th year, and he's injury prone. It's amazing that he played the whole season. So you're looking at about 9 teams that might take a flyer on the quarterback, and there's not that many quarterbacks that are available. I mean, I know this is just a small list of who they have here, like, Sanders, Ward, Milroe, who upon further examination with Milroe, this guy is a one-read quarterback. He is just terrible. And Ellers has decided to stay in school because he don't want his girlfriend messing around with, I guess, the dudes in college. So he's staying in school. And I'm like, dude, she's your college girlfriend. Get rid of her. Get rid of her. Like, you're on drugs. Sorry. Let's see here. Let's go by. Let's see. These 5 quarterbacks. See who we got here. Okay. All right. PFF. Oh God, no! I need more.
Okay, I'm back. What I miss?
Nothing. I was just talking about quarterbacks that are in the draft this year.
Besides Jackson Dart, what'd you find? Jackson Dart, Jayden Milroe. Dag nabbit, who is Cam Ward?
All right,
if
so
you draft either Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, you're making a mistake.
Well, here's what I was looking at. I was looking at the teams that definitely or probably might need a quarterback. Okay. Tennessee, they're probably going to keep Will Levis. All right.
Probably.
You're right. They're going to keep Will Levis. He whatever for every reason. So you got Cleveland, the Giants. Okay. You got Las Vegas. You got the Jets. You possibly have New Orleans.
You got Cleveland.
Right. You possibly have New Orleans. So that's 5 right off rip.
They desperately need a quarterback.
Right. So Indianapolis, because Richardson is Tim Tebow.
Richardson is a bust.
Yeah, he's a bust.
That's
let's see here.
My wife just said that a moment ago.
Yeah,
she just asked me. I went to use the restroom and she said, "Are we getting a quarterback this year in the draft?" I'm like, baby, I don't know. She says, "Well, you're the sports announcer. You need to know this stuff." I said, "Baby, I know. I know this." Her friends pick at me because I stream the Colts games as well as the 49er games, and it's so much fun when I do, especially when Jody throws questions like that at me. But they need a quarterback. The Colts need a quarterback badly. Because Anthony Richardson, you need to tell him, and Joe Flacco, as much as I love Joe Flacco and how he rescued the Colts a couple of times, you need to tell them both, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more and rebuild that quarterback room. You got to rebuild that quarterback room because Anthony Richardson is not him, nor will he ever be.
So, yeah, that's true. Like I said, he looks like Tim Tebow. He looks like the black Tim Tebow, not to be racial, but that's what he looks like to me.
He's worse.
That's worse. Yeah, that's terrible.
He's worse.
So Seattle, okay, they might draft for a quarterback for the future.
They need to.
Right. Seattle,
Geno Smith is running out of miles.
Possibly Pittsburgh. Possibly. All right, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rams.
The Rams definitely. Because how much longer can you depend on Matthew Stafford?
That's what I'm saying. He's on
especially
what,
after he got
15th year?
After he got beat. What is this? What would be this coming up for him now? His 16th year?
Yeah, he's an old man.
This will be his 16th year. And you ain't playing Stetson Bennett any because you're too chicken too. You need to give the keys to Stetson Bennett right now and then draft his backup. That's how you solve that. You tell Matthew Stafford, thank you for the Super Bowl, but get out.
And possibly Miami. So that's 9 teams. Because your boy is a concussion away from being gone.
And yet they're going to keep him.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they did the two worst things they could have done. They kept him and they extended him.
I just work here, okay? So
I need to make that a soundbite. I just work here, okay?
yeah, I mean, I have no control.
No, we don't. We don't. We can predict and do all that. We can predict and say who needs what, but the folks in charge are going to be the folks in charge, okay? And they make the final decision. Tua should not have lasted 2 extra years beyond 2022 when he took 3 concussions in 14 weeks. You're not supposed to survive that. He did. Blessings to him. Now pay him a severance and get him out of there because he's not built for it. And I mean that from a concussion standpoint.
So this is who's in the draft. All right. Out of 9 teams that could possibly go for a quarterback, be a starter or backup. Mm-hmm. All right. So you got Sanders, Ward, Milroe, who I was saying he's a one-read quarterback. This guy sucks. Okay. He sucks. He's like Deshaun Watson. If his first read isn't open, he gets happy feet and he's running.
Yep.
Right. Edwards, as I said, he's staying in school because his girlfriend, he don't want his girlfriend to discover BBC.
Yep.
So he's staying in school like a dummy. Kyle McCoy.
Listen, I don't doubt your reasoning, but I think the discovery is going to happen anyway. But that's a discussion for another time.
It's probably already happened. He just don't know about it.
Yep, because he's at Texas. He is.
So you've got Kyle McCord, Dylan Gabriel, okay, Will Howard, Curtis Rourke, Jackson Dart, Ryan Leonard.
You know what? You just said a name that may shoot up the boards.
Riley Leonard?
No, Curtis Rourke out of Indiana.
Rourke. Why is that?
Kid Rourke, his brother, Nathan Rourke.
Oh God! Let's see what his
Kid Curtis can do everything his brother does, but his brother was treated unfairly when he was the backup in New England. All they had to do was give him the football, and they wouldn't. They gave it to, how did Shane put it? Jacoby Barbecue Brisket.
Oh wow! All right, so let's look at his scouting report. Let's see. His strengths are plus size, anticipatory thrower who consistently delivers before receivers hit their breaks, showcasing advanced route recognition and timing. Just say he can throw receivers open.
Yep.
Silky smooth mechanics with consistent footwork and throwing motion. So he's got great throwing motion. Okay. Natural strike thrower in the intermediate game, pairing corners and back shoulders with plus accuracy and touch. Okay, so he's got some accuracy.
That he does.
Quick feet in the pocket with, subtle movements to avoid pressure while maintaining throwing base. Oh, so he can throw on the run. Okay.
Yep.
Advanced manipulation of second level defenders with eye discipline and shoulder fake. So he can look off the safety.
He can look off the safety.
Right. Pro ready frame with plus bulk. Okay, so he's a big guy. How
Mhm.
big is he? They be killing me with all this extra talking for nothing.
Right.
He's 6'5", 231.
A little bit taller
Okay.
than his brother.
All right. I like that. You got to be big.
You
Let's
have
see.
to. This is a quarterbacks league, and you have to be built to play the position. Tua Tagovailoa. You have to be built to play the position. Derek Carr.
You can't be
You have to be-
6'1", 180 pounds.
Unless you're Drew Brees and can get away with it. But Drew Brees was fast as lightning with his throws.
Yeah, quick
You have to
release.
be built physically and mentally to play the game. Caleb Williams. You have to be built physically and mentally to play the game. Dak Prescott.
Caleb Williams, the dancing queen. They shooting. They shooting. Every time I see him, he remind me of that
That's the
thing.
song.
They
That song.
shooting.
Oh man.
All right,
But
let's
you
see.
have to be built. You have to be built physically and mentally to play the position. Geno Smith.
Let's see. Clean, compact release with little wasted motion, getting ball out quickly under duress.
If you get a chance to look at some film of Kid Rourke or Kid Curtis, Kid Rourke is his brother Nathan. Look at his shoulder fakes that he puts on people. That's all I got to tell you.
Doesn't
Look
do
at his
it?
shoulder fakes.
We'll take a look. Let's see here. Below average escapability, outside structure, lacking dynamic twitch to extend plays when pocket breaks down. Okay, so in other words, he's a statue.
He is a statue.
Okay, shows some zip fade on deep boundary throws, particularly when unable to step in the throws. Okay, so I know what they mean by that. His ball, it loses zip when throwing the fade because he takes the
So
fade
long.
requires touch.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the touch pass. Okay.
At least not yet.
All right. Late to pull trigger against simulated pressures, missing windows against complex zone exchanges, which means that he doesn't know how to read the blitz. I could care less about the age. Drops eyes against interior pressure, failing to reset platform when first read is disrupted. Yeah, so he has a problem with the blitz and the rush.
Mm-hmm.
You know who also has that problem? Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
It's gonna show today. Because I am calling for an upset.
I'm thinking, well, for me, okay. So for me, my choice is Will Howard for the Browns. My choice is Will Howard. I like what I saw of the Jackson Dart. I think the sleeper between Dart and Howard, I think Riley Leonard might be a sleeper.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think he might be a sleeper. I don't know why he's still in here. Take him out. The kid dropped out of the draft. Did
Who's
I
that?
miss? Did he come back?
Who's that?
Oh, okay. So it's okay. The last time it was updated was on the 6th. Edwards. All right. So they need to update this because that dude is not even in here. So
Quinn Ewers
yeah,
out of Texas.
yeah.
Mm.
So you've got 11 picks and with 9 teams that possibly need a quarterback. Yeah. All right. I guess you can go with that. Let's see. Get rid of this. Let's see. The Raiders. All right. Let's since we're talking quarterbacks, the Raiders, they hired Pete Carroll.
Good luck with that.
Do you think that was a desperation move?
Yep. Because no one else wanted the job. No one
Let's
else.
just be honest. I mean, I can't argue with that.
After the look. Mark Davis is your owner. That tell you anything?
Yeah.
Mark Davis is your owner. That tell you anything?
That tells me everything I need to know.
That's a desperation move. He wanted to get back into coaching. because he got screwed over out of Seattle because they didn't know what they were doing and they kept him out of the loop. That's it and that's all. That's it and that's all. That's a desperation move, and they know it's and they know for a fact it's a desperation move.
You got who did you have out there? Okay. Who did you have out there in the coaching carousel that would have taken this job
with the Raiders? Nobody.
You would have had to have went and got either exactly what they did, either a Pete Carroll type, somebody that could just come in and like be like a father or a grandfather to these guys, somebody that can give them some type of male stability, or you would have had to have gone and gotten a college coach.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have getting a college coach. And you look at their quarterback situation. Aiden O'Connell is a career backup. Who the hell is Anthony Brown? Who the hell is Carter Bradley? And Gardner Minshew, career backup.
Is Gardner Minshew.
Right. Career backup.
Gardner Minshew is Gardner Minshew.
Him and Aiden O'Connell are best coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
But oddly enough, Brock Bowers set rookie receiving records
for a tight end.
Yeah,
because he was the only damn option in that offense.
Yeah,
he was the only. When you're the only option, I mean, the Niners went through this in 2018 when they discovered George the Animal Kittle. When you're the only option, you go to him, no matter who's throwing the ball.
Good Lord, this whole situation is ugly. This website, I hate to tell you, this website is ugly because Davante Adams isn't even there. And you say you guys updated this when? Anyway, so Jacoby Myers is your only.
What's the website?
NFLDraftBuzz.com.
Oh man, I'm not using that. I'm using the early.
No, I'm not either. Let's see here. Past draft.
Who in the blue hell would want that position anyway? With the Raiders,
I don't even know.
Who in the? Give me this.
Say it
here.
Yeah, Chris, hit the button.
Chris, please say it.
What in the all types of blue hell
is that?
Here we go. All right. Oh my God. Okay, let's see here.
Android, Cam Ward, and Shedeur Sanders are the same. They both suck.
Teams.
And he also says, my good buddy that's going to call the AFC Championship on my channel, I can see Garrett Wilson leaving New York. I can too. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's traded on draft night.
Garrett Wilson?
Garrett Wilson.
Oh my God. They have, this is the NFL.com.
Mm-hmm.
And even they still had Davante Adams on the roster. You see this?
Why?
Oh my God.
That's my only question. Why?
Oh my God. What are you guys doing? Update your stuff.
Don't you ask that question.
Update your stuff.
They're not going to.
Update your stuff.
They're not going to.
Oh my God.
You already know the answer to that. They're not going to.
Oh wait, this is okay. Here we go. Raiders. Okay, position. There we go. All right. Updated roster
now.
So Jacoby Myers is your only viable candidate as far as a wide receiver threat. All right.
Don't make him a quarterback. He'll throw to the wrong team again.
Your quarterbacks, let's see, who do they still have listed on the roster? Okay, Desmond Ridder. That's right, they did trade for him. Desmond Ridder, Aiden O'Connell, and Carter Bradley. So you definitely need one. So the Raiders, they're definitely going to go for quarterback. Hold on, let me see something here.
They definitely need a quarterback. Period.
Am I still okay? Yes. Okay. All right. You think they gonna still rock out with Derek Carr?
Hell no.
So you got Carr, Hanier, and Rattler. But the thing is with Derek Carr,
Ship
if
them
you
all
let
out.
go of Derek Carr, who pays? Who pays him?
The Jets.
They would have to trade for him because he's under contract.
And the Jets would be stupid enough to do it.
Yes, they would.
The Jets would be stupid enough to do it.
Let's be honest. Yes, they would. So Carr, the Jets would more than likely trade for a Derek Carr.
They want a miracle, right?
Either them
True
or
or false? True or false? They want a miracle, right?
yeah.
They depended on that with Aaron Rodgers, and look what happened. Right in the toilet.
Well, at least he'd be back with Devontae Adams.
And what good is that going to do with a defensive coordinator as your coach? I rest my case. You know, and so I know someone already made that point to me earlier in the day. Well, they have a defensive coordinator as their coach. What good is that going to do? What good is that going to do? I'll give you a prime example. It's somebody you are familiar with, my friend. His name is George Seifert. George Seifert, defensive coordinator for 9 years. Bill Walsh retires. He takes over that team and leads them to 2 Super Bowls. Next.
Let me see. No, I'm listening. I'm seeing where they are. Let's see. Saints. Here they are.
You're like
Very
me. You're
bottom.
multitasking. You're
Yeah.
like me. You're multitasking like I do on the morning show.
All right. So here they are. All right. Base salary. It looks like he makes the most at $30 million. Let's see. He counts 51 against the cap.
Oops.
So, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, let's see. If they trade him, they would. Wow. He would count 40 million against the cap.
Yep.
If they, let's see. That's trade pre-June 1st. Trade post-June, he would count. Wow. Just let's see.
A lot of money.
Right. So they would save if they traded him post June 1st, it would be 11 million in dead cap and 40 million in cap savings. So he would have to be a post June, not a pre.
Yeah, be a post June 1st.
Right. So if they cut him pre June, that's 50 million in dead money. But they would only save 1 million. You ain't getting shit out of that.
Oh, hell no.
Wow. If you cut him post June, 21 million dead money and 30 million in cap savings.
Oh, that's why most of these teams do it. They hold on, they wait till June and then tell them get the hell out of here and don't you come back. They tell them hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
I hate looking at this.
Mm-hmm.
I hate looking at this because you realize just how badly you fucked up.
Yep.
You realize just how badly you fucked up. There is no escaping him. You're stuck with him.
Nope. You are locked into him. Your Browns did the same thing with Deshaun Watson. Need I say more?
This is why I told him. It's funny. I said it. I said, you need to extend Deshaun Watson at least 3 years.
Yep.
Even out his money and let him know you'll never play here again. Mm-hmm. Okay. You'll never play here again.
You ain't playing another down here.
Right. You'll probably never play football again.
Because nobody else is going to take on that mess.
Right. You pop.
Nobody else is going to think on that mess. Come on.
I don't think people really understand exactly what happened with Deshaun Watson with his injury. They had to rebuild his right shoulder.
Yep.
Okay. To which
still ain't at 100%.
Exactly. It's not at 100%. We saw that in the first 7 games. He was scared to throw. And then when he did throw,
he was
all over the place.
They were lame. Those throws were lame ducks.
He popped not his left Achilles like Rodgers did, but his right Achilles.
His right Achilles. And
that's
he's right-handed.
Who else popped their right Achilles at quarterback? And you can pretty much consider his career done. Where am I? What city am I in?
Popped his right Achilles.
What city am I in? That's the biggest clue. You don't know where I live?
You're in Atlanta.
Right. So what quarterback popped his right Achilles?
That would be Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins.
Right. Popped his right Achilles. He looked good for the first 4 or 5 games of the season, and then after that,
including a 500-yard game against Tampa Bay, which they won in overtime, and it did him no good because, as you said, he popped his right Achilles and was Dunskies.
It eventually, because it was funny, he was balling out his first 5 games here in Atlanta.
Yes,
and then it seemed like he ran out of steam.
He came to a screeching halt.
And I'm like, you know what it is? I said, it's his right Achilles. He can't
step into his throws.
Right. He was throwing
he can't drive off that right foot.
Deshaun Watson popped his Achilles twice. Once, in the game. And then again, earlier this month, post surgery. Your career's done.
Adios.
You're a running quarterback too?
May I invoke George Carlin here, please?
Yes, please.
Basically, what we're saying to you, Deshaun Watson and Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins, is adios, motherfucker. Thank you, George Carlin.
Say he can see Garrett Wilson leaving New York.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be greedy. I can tell you the team who may snatch him.
Go ahead.
San Francisco.
He would have to go in a trade.
I know. It would take a hell of a trade. But think about how financially responsible San Francisco is. Right? Even with everything and everybody whose contracts they had to negotiate, navigate, and get through. Now they're going to have some room to play.
Well, let's see. We here on cap space. They've got $46 million in cap space.
One trade, and they're going to get more. One good trade, and they're going to get enough cap space that they can hold on to until week 9, and then they send a letter to Garrett. Hey, Garrett, we got a spot for you.
They got a lot of money.
Yep. And they're going to get more. Watch. They're going to make 2 moves, maybe 3. That'll free up some more cap space. Now that they got Robert Saleh in tow and they're going to extend him and get that out the way, they're going to extend the hell out of Brock Purdy and get that out the way.
Oh, yeah, you do got to sign Brock Purdy.
We got to extend Brock. He's the priority. And good guy, we know he's earned it.
Y'all are stealing. Stealing from Brock Purdy. Let's just be honest. Here he is.
He's going to get, listen.
Look at this. Y'all are stealing from this kid.
Look, Purdy, listen, let me borrow a nickname from you. Purdy Mouth is going to get paid. Okay? Purdy Mouth is going to get paid. 2 NFC championships and a Super Bowl appearance. He's going to get paid.
Look at his dead. Look at his dead money if you cut him before the first.
Which we're not.
$19,000. Let me cash out the Niners for Brock Purdy. Let me cash out them. Y'all give us Brock Purdy. We give y'all. I give y'all the 19,000 and a couple bags of hot Cheetos.
You stupid.
A case of Red Rocks. What the else y'all want?
But in all seriousness, you know he's staying in the Bay.
Yeah,
They
he
are
ain't going
working.
nowhere.
They're working to keep him. And they got so much space available now, it's not even funny. All right. And the potential, which is still growing, by the way, that's the scariest part of Brock Purdy.
How much you paying?
We've seen the best of him, and we're going to get more of the best from him.
How much do you pay him?
Look at the market. You take a little of what the Lions did for Jared Goff. Take a little of what the Chiefs did for Pat Mahomes a couple of years ago. Put him in the calculator and mix it together.
Is he a $200? $200.
Yep.
$200 million man?
Yep. You got the steal of the draft 2 years ago. You roll the dice and take your chances with a kid that's still growing into his potential. And to all the people that say, well, he's not a good quarterback, he has weapons. That's the fucking point.
You can't win in the NFL without weapons.
Exactly.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
And you're still going to hear it because of the hatred to Brock. You're still going to hear it. You're still going to hear it. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Even when he wins a couple of Super Bowls, and I say he wins more than a couple, even when he wins a couple of Super Bowls, it's not going to stop. You know it. I know it.
Kid played in an NFC championship game, got hurt, played the Super Bowl, lost in overtime.
With 3 seconds, it went down. Folks, listen to me. You're talking to a 49ers insider of some 20 years. 3 seconds away from a title? I will take that development in 2 years, put a blank check in front of him, and say, name your price. You take care of Brock Purdy right now, which is what they're going to do this summer. And he's going to be it's going to be the hottest news in the NFL. Forget all the trades, forget all the draft picks. He's going to be the hottest piece of news in the NFL.
This is the only thing I don't like. But it was because of injury. You lost Ayuk, and Deebo Samuels was playing like a POS.
Yep. He lost Ayuk. He lost Deebo Samuel. McCaffrey was gone for the first 9-10 weeks. Then he didn't play at Green Bay. Then the offensive line got withered away. You know, the offensive line was in a shambles, so they had to move people around. It's like one of my favorite insiders says, the injury list for San Francisco read like a hospital ward. Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is that, and this is in quotations, don't like, is that his quarterback rating went from 107 to 113 and then down to 96.1. And I 100% guarantee you that there are at least 11 teams that wish that they had a quarterback whose rating was 96.1.
They wish their quarterback rating was 90. Forget 96.1. Because you're talking about a kid. Let's take last year out. Let's take this past season out of the equation, because we know with all the injuries San Francisco had to deal with. Okay, let's take this past season out of the equation. You're looking at a kid whose quarterback rating since he took over as the starter against Tampa Bay is a career 112 upon average. And people are complaining because his rating went down to 96. You know how good that is?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
You said it yourself when we did the Browns 49ers game. I'll take a sub 100 rating for Brock Purdy, knowing the potential that he has. I'll take it.
Matter of fact, we're the only team he's ever played that dropped his quarterback rating in a game. In a game. Down, what was it? It was like, what, 25 or 52%? 51. Yeah, his quarterback rating was 51.
After he played the Browns.
Right.
After he played the Browns, his quarterback rating was 51 because it's the most physical game, save Kansas City, that he ever had.
Yeah.
Period.
And normally his quarterback rating it's usually in the 100s.
And it's going to stay that way.
Right. So
it's going to stay that way.
We'll leave it at that. Let's move on to the Jaguars. Now, did you hear about this whole situation about the Jaguars?
Yep.
As far as their head coaching situation, as far as,
do they have a head coach?
Yeah, they hired Liam Cohen, the Bucs offensive coordinator. They finally got him. Okay,
Chris, please ask.
What in the all types of blue hell?
All right, so
situation?
Let me get people up to date. Let me read this. All right. So Liam Cohen's dalliance with the Jaguars has resulted in marriage. The Jaguars and Cohen have finalized a deal for him to become Jacksonville's next head coach. NFL Network insiders Ian Rappaport, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garofalo
not Jimmy
Friday. Yeah, not Jimmy Garofalo. That's why when I read his name, I'm like, Mike Garofalo. I'm thinking Jimmy. Like, what the hell? Mike Garofalo reported Friday. All right, so to repeat my message earlier this week, I am deeply committed to building a winner here in Jacksonville, Jaguars owner Shad Khan said in the statement released by the team. You know, Mr. Mustard.
And the bad part is we came up with that joke at the same time that you read that.
I also believe in being judged by actions, not words. That's why I took swift and decisive action this week to hire Liam Cohen as the next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am pumped that Liam is accepting the challenge and opportunity to build the winner that Jaguars fans and partners fully deserve. I know our players feel the same. The hiring follows a tumultuous couple of days in which Cohen voluntarily pulled out of consideration for the job.
Ain't that the truth?
Choosing to instead return to the Buccaneers with a pay raise. Hours after Cohen's decision to stay with the Bucs became public, the Jaguars fired general manager Trent Baalke, seemingly reopening an avenue to partner with Cohen.
Why are we surprised?
Now, hold on. There's a whole thing with this. Okay? There's a whole thing with this, because remember, they couldn't even sniff Ben Johnson's draws or anybody else because of Trent Baalke.
Nope.
They didn't want. He's an idiot.
The same idiot that ruined my 49ers.
Yeah, that's why they fired him.
And we kicked him to hell, and we told him get the hell out and stay out.
Shoot. York,
and after that, Jed York.
Was it Jed York?
Listen, Jed York did two smart things. He got Trent Baalke the fuck out of town and said, I'm just going to sit back and write the checks and let Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch do their thing. Listen to reason, Virginia McCaskey. Listen to reason, Gerald. Listen to reason. How did Dave Kaplan put it? My good buddy in Chicago. Get some football people in there. Fix that goddamn thing, please.
So they finally, because everybody had been calling for Trent Baalke to be fired down there in Jacksonville, as far as like the fan base. They knew he was the problem.
For 3 years.
Right, because his draft picks were garbage. The only one that really panned out was the wide receiver that they picked this year. Yeah, that guy was pretty good. So on Thursday, Cohen was in Jacksonville visiting with the team while Tampa Bay brass was trying to get a hold of him.
Of course.
Cohen did reach out to Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles. Paracello reported. Bowles, excuse me. Eventually, he agreed to become their next coach, replacing Doug Peterson, who was fired on January 6th after 3 seasons with the Jaguars. Now, insiders are saying that the Bucs, the reason why they paid Cohen all of this money, they were paying him what, $15 million a year? That's a lot for an offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Was because they wanted him to succeed Todd Bowles. Everybody's been kind of with Todd Bowles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were like, you keep getting to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, you lost 2 playoff games because of Baker turnovers. The interception against the Lions on what would have been the game tying or winning drive.
Would have been a game tire. Yep.
Right. And
would have been a game tire.
Then this fumble on this reverse run option thing where he fumbled the ball. This past playoff game, so against the Rams, so it cost them playoff game appearances. Right, but you can't coach that.
It cost them 2 championship appearances.
Right, you can't coach that. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's on the players. So Todd Bowles, because he's getting them into the playoffs, I mean, you don't really fire a winning coach.
Which is what 49er fans are calling for Kyle Shanahan, which I don't know why.
Yeah, go ahead and fire Kyle Shanahan and
see what happens, and see who would be willing enough, and see what coach you would get to take the job. Because I guarantee you fire Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch goes with him.
You will be looking like Arizona,
if not worse.
Yeah, you'll be looking like Arizona,
if not worse.
You'll have talent,
but you don't you don't have the leadership.
Right.
You don't have the leadership, man.
Yeah. So he thought about it. Like, so Sean Khan, he fired Trent Baalke. He called Cohen back.
Bring your ass back here. We need you.
Right. Because word on the NFL streets between the owners and, the top brass, whatnot, GMs and, executives and everything, like, dude, they let him know you're never going to get a good coach because you have a horrible general manager
in Trent Baalke.
Right. We've been telling you that for years. Do you understand? Teams,
the best team, one of the best teams in the NFL, one of the most proud franchises in the NFL, kicked his ass out.
Good teams in the NFL, they hear their fan base
and listen.
Right. They take it under advisement. They get to talking around, and then they finally do what they need to do. Mm-hmm. Up here, okay, prime example, the Raiders, the fan base literally in Mark Davis's face told him to fire what's that goofball name from the Patriots? McDaniels.
Josh McDaniels.
Right. They told him to his face, fire McDaniels, and he get out of here. But he eventually did it.
He eventually grew a set and fired him.
Right. I'm not in Cleveland, but Cleveland Browns fans, we felt that our owner was too busy in the way. He was too busy being in the way. So
he probably, please.
Yeah, too busy being in the way.
Mm-hmm. This
ain't the gas stations you run, bro. This is a football franchise. It's a whole different animal. This ain't a gas station pump.
He said this ain't a gas.
Right, because he's the owner of for those of y'all that don't know, he's the owner of the Pilot J, Flying J.
Yes.
For the truckers, the truck gas stations. He owns that. That's how he made his billions. So it's like, dude, this is not that operation. You got to be hands off. So he wound up being hands off. The Browns went to the playoffs 2 times out of 4 years. So now you have the Panthers owner.
Oh, jeez.
I know he's throwing
Oh,
water on
jeez.
fans and everything. Like, bruh, you are.
Oh,
Ooh.
dear. Oh, dear Lord.
At least Bryce Young, it clicked for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if he had to go through the, he was baptized through fire, took a seat.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Watched film, did more study, realizing that, because in all honesty, if you watched Bryce Young's tape in his rookie year, and also at the earlier start of this year, his problem was that he was getting rid of the ball too early. Yeah, too early. Like, dude, just give the receiver another second.
Mm-hmm.
But
give the routes time to develop.
Yeah, he's a little boy.
Give the routes time to develop.
Exactly. But
Which is still the same problem Tua has, but I ain't the one to gossip, so you ain't heard it from me.
But he's the most accurate quarterback. Anyway.
Man, listen. People have been, what do you say about Tua now? He's the most accurate quarterback. Until he reaches the status of Steve Young, get out of my face. Which he's not, because he's not accurate. Which he's not, because he doesn't know how to slide.
He's good at throwing the ball deep. I'll give him that.
But that's all he's got.
Oh, and racking up concussions.
Because he sure ain't racking up the yards.
Right. So here's the thing. Because Bryce Young, he's a little boy, quote unquote, playing quarterback back there. He didn't want to take those hits.
Right.
But now that he's used to he's trusting his offensive line because they did rebuild it.
Yep.
He's trusting his wide receiver core. He's finally starting to let the routes develop. Suddenly now the Panthers are having success.
Yeah.
Offensively. Which helps out your defense and your special teams. But the thing about it is they just have to get more.
Because your defense is allowed to rest.
Right. You need to give him more weapons. You need at least 2 more wide receivers. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You need 2 more wide receivers.
If not 3.
Where are they where are the Panthers in the draft order? Let's see here. They're 8th in the draft order. They don't have that many picks. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've got 9 picks. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. They got 2, 4.
They need some wide receivers bad.
Yeah.
They need a receiving core because anytime you have to depend on 33-year-old Adam Thielen.
Get the hell out of here. But he didn't have a good season this year, though. But you got to give Adam you got to give Adam his credit. He looked good this year, though.
Man,
he looked good this year because Bryce Young started playing better.
I repeat my sentence. Anytime you have to depend on 33-year-old Adam Thielen, there's a problem. But I will give Thielen this. He did become his primary target when Bryce Young let plays develop.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Anything else?
So they've got a shot. They've got a shot at building their offense through their wide receivers.
Yeah. They got to get wide receivers, though. They have to get some receivers.
All right. So back to this. I'm getting off track. Becoming the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars is an opportunity of a lifetime and one that I'm going to run with to instill a championship culture and winning tradition here in Duval, Cohen said in a statement obtained by NFL Network's Peter Schrager. This doesn't happen without the support. Okay, blase.
Regular coach speak for those of you tuning in at home.
Right, regular coach speak. I'm not even going to really get into it. So,
speaking of coach speak,
go ahead.
I wonder what coach speak is going to come from Brian Schottenheimer. The look on your face tells me my answer that I need to know.
Because Marcellus Wiley said it best. Because, Brian Schottenheimer, he's there in Dallas.
Right.
All right.
Right.
So you go from offensive coordinator and you've never had a good offense.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're the head coach. And if the players didn't respect you as offensive coordinator,
what the hell do you think they're going to do with you being a head coach?
Marcellus Wiley said that.
Yeah. And Marcellus Wiley is correct. Marcellus Wiley is spot on right.
So the only job that's still open is the Saints job. Am I correct?
Yes.
Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady pulls out of Saints head coaching job.
Joe Brady, thank you. Because Joe Brady realizes what he has. Like, I'm not walking away from this. Yeah, I know. I sound like my daughter. I know. I can't help it.
No.
I sound like my grandchildren. I can't help it.
Let's see who they.
Think about it. Think about it, man.
This is how bad it is in New Orleans. His decision leaves New Orleans, the only team still without a head coach, short one of its more attractive candidates. But the Saints recently completed second interviews with other notable names, such as Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver and Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka.
Oh, I know who Mike Kafka is. Mike Kafka is from my hometown. He played at St. Rita High School in Chicago, and then he played for 3 years at Northwestern University. But unfortunately, Mike Kafka is not getting a fair shot because he's been bounced around to and from other.
He's Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah. Wife says say it real, so I'll say it real. He's been bounced around other shitty teams and not given a chance to really open a playbook like he had at NU. Yeah, I said it.
They also plan to speak with former Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy and have a second interview scheduled with Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, don't take the position. It ain't worth it. It'd be a perfect, hilarious marriage in hell if they hired Mike McCarthy. You know how hilarious that would be?
Well, the Saints have $52 million. Okay. I'm sorry, $48 million in dead money.
Oh, that's going right to the head coach.
In dead money.
Mm-hmm. There's your problem right there. There is thy problem.
You don't have okay.
There is thy problem. Dead money. Keyword dead.
This will probably be one of the worst jobs to take. Next to the Jets. Next to the Jets.
You read my mind. You read my mind.
So, in all honesty, I put it to you like this. If I want generational wealth, I would take that job.
Yeah.
Because they're going to pay you anywhere between 5 to 7 million.
They're going to pay you any damn thing.
Yeah, 3 to 5 years.
They're going to pay you any damn thing. They are going to pay you anything to fill that position. That's all the Saints want right now. They don't care about the team. The management doesn't care about the team or the parts needed. They're not saying anything until April 26th when the draft starts. I believe it's April 26th. I may have the date wrong. But the final week in April is when the New Orleans Saints will finally begin to care about their team. Why, you ask? Because they finally filled the position with the wrong person, mind you, that they needed to fill. End of story.
Well, at least the good news is, like, these are your free agents. All right.
Mhm.
Chase Young, Juwan Johnson. So you're looking at, you're going to lose 13 million is going to fall off the cap with him, 6 million with Johnson. And then, of course, after that, you got, Turner, Gay. Those are your 3 millions. I can't even say this guy's name. Kapasaganan. And let's see, Udo. That's a $2 million guys. Then what's he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 $1 million guys. And then, of course, scrubs.
Yep.
That
Scrubs.
Right.
As you said it best, brother. Scrubs.
Yeah. You're talking about guys who this is what you pay somebody to clean your toilets, $225,000.
Uh-huh.
So
that's what you pay.
Yeah. You'll have some money. Let's see, what are you looking at in 2026? You'll have more money falling off the next year. See, Tyrann Mathieu, good Lord. He's still playing?
How?
You're stuck with Derek Carr till 2027, but then you'll also have to sign Alvin Kamara. You'll definitely let go of Derek Carr by then if you don't trade him.
If you don't trade him this year.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara, he's not going anywhere. You might re-sign him in 2027.
Might be in the operative void.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. This franchise is just
cooked.
Yeah, they're dead.
C-O hooked.
They can forget it.
Unless they get a quarterback that's like Drew Brees, and they get a coach that's like Sean Payton, which they're not. Forget it. They're done. Like Adam, D-U-N-N, done.
Ooh. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, like I said, if I was to take the Saints job, it's because I want generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I want generational wealth. I'll probably last maybe 2 seasons.
Listen, here's like you said, you last 2 seasons. Here's what you do. You don't think about nothing else except dividing the money and putting it where you need to put it so the generational wealth can begin. All right? Then you take 2 seasons, make sure all your money is in the investments where you want to put it, and make sure they grow. Take 2 seasons, do your coaching, and then beat it. That's it. Because you're not going to get a team that's going to compete unless they decide to push the plunger and blow up the joint.
They're not doing that. Oh, you would have to, but if they did that, that means that you're starting over from scratch.
Yep.
And how long do head coaches last when you start over from scratch?
3 years at most. 3 years.
If you're lucky.
Mm-hmm. Kyle Shanahan got lucky. Andy Reid got lucky. All right? Nick Skinny Jeans Sirianni somehow got lucky, considering he's playing for the NFC Championship today. Considering he is playing for the NFC Championship today. Don't ask me how. I don't know, but it happened. And I hope they get their wings clipped today. Yes, I'm calling for the upset.
Speaking of which, let's get this out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Today's game. All right, we're looking at today's game. Okay, so you've got Washington, because we got about 15 minutes. So you've got Washington and Philadelphia. I'm sorry, hold on. Let me come over here. All right, so you've got Washington and Philadelphia.
Yep.
Today at 3. They're the first. Yeah, there's the first game.
They're the early game. The Bills and the Chiefs are the late game.
Jaden Daniels, he has been a fourth quarter magic quarterback.
He's been spectacular.
Right. Fourth quarter, that dude, he's like Joe Montana. He's like Joe
And
Montana.
that is a great comparison.
Yeah.
Yes,
Let's just
he
be honest.
is. Dagnabbit. He
I mean,
is.
let's see. What games did he pull out late? Let's see.
What games did he pull out late? An earlier game against Philadelphia in Washington. They had no
You
business winning that game.
got
They turned the ball over 5 times. The
you
Hail
got the
Mary
Bengals
against
game,
Chicago.
Giants
the
game,
Saints. He pulled out the game against the Giants, pulled out
the
the game
Bengals.
against the Saints. You got the Hail Mary against Chicago, which I laughed my ass off when I saw that.
Yeah, Chicago. There they are. So that's 3. Let's see. The other game against the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Was that a come from behind victory? Let's take a look. Hold on, let me go. Let's see here. No, that game was already in hand.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's 3 right there. You've got, let's see, this one against the Saints. I know you definitely had the one against the Eagles.
Yep.
Let's see.
And
The one against the Falcons.
They should never have won that game against Philadelphia in Washington. They should have never won that game, but Jaden Daniels rescued him even after a 5-turnover day.
Right. So you've looking at about, so far what we know for sure, 6 games. Let's see here. This game against the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So far we're at 6, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's see here. In the 4th period. Okay. Saints. Washington. Scroll all the way down here. Jesus Christ. They definitely give you an accurate detail here. Because they won that. Oh, I'm sorry. Should have been looking at the time. Okay. So, nope. That game was already in hand. Saints scored last. They beat them 20. Commanders beat them 20-19. Oh, I think they're going back to being the Redskins next year.
I hope so, man.
Yeah, they got the rights. Yeah, they were able to do that.
Here you go, right here. This is the song I'm looking to play tomorrow. That's the song I'm looking to play. And as I always do during championship weekend, whichever team wins, the winning team's fight song will be played to open the show tomorrow.
No, you're fine. It looks like he has 8 come from behind wins this year.
Mm-hmm. Don't you love it?
And that's even counting playoffs.
Uh-huh.
That's even counting playoffs because the one against the Bucks was a come from behind victory.
Yep. 23-20. Because the Bucks led that game early.
Can they do it?
Yep. And Jaden Daniels is just one of the reasons why. I say Jaden Daniels hangs 300 against the Eagles today.
God, I hope so.
I want them to hang 3. I want Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts. God love you, but you ain't ready for the NFC Championship. 2 years ago, you got lucky because Brock Purdy had his arm torn out of the socket. This year, you are in the spotlight. You're at home against the division rival that has no business being there. That's playing with nothing to lose. That's playing with nothing to lose. You damn near lost to the Rams. What does that tell you? Jalen Hurts is the key for Philadelphia, just as Jaden Daniels is the key for the Washington Redskins. And I'm doing a live stream call, alternative play-by-play call of that game, and I hope so many times to say touchdown Washington Redskins as loud as I can.
I'm sorry, I'm listening. I'm letting you have it. I'm looking at the defense. I'm looking at the Bills defense and how they were against the spread.
Yeah.
All right. The defense pretty much they look like they average. If you were to go by the average score, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times they've held teams to 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3 times you've held them to 20. Let's see how many times over 20. Let's say how many times over 21 points, because you have to of course you have to outscore the Bills, but you have to outscore the
You have
Bills
to.
in order to beat them, right? So let's see, how many times did they stop a team from going over 21 points? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times.
In 17 games.
They lost
18 if you count the divisional playoff.
Right. They lost those games. Anything over 21 points, they lost those games.
They lost. Mm-hmm.
Right. 33 with the Bears, 31 with the Panthers, 35 with the Ravens, 23 with the Texans, 44 with the Rams. All right. It's a miracle they pulled out the one against the Lions, 48-42.
Oh, they beat them. They beat them up, as well as hanging 48 points on the Lions.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Do we even really count this one against the Patriots? Because that was the last game of the season.
No. Everything had been sealed up by then. Buffalo was locked into the number 2 seed. Kansas City has already locked themselves in the number 1 seed. Do you count that game against the Patriots? No, you don't.
25 against the Ravens in the divisional playoff, and we know that game, in all honesty, that game should have went in overtime.
Should have
either overtime or he would have drove down there to kick a field goal.
Yep, he'd have won it in regulation.
So they work best. They're more effective if they can hold Kansas City. Let's just be honest. They can hold Kansas City to 21 points, which they did when they beat them in week 11.
30-21.
Right. If they can hold them to 21 points, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
And your secret weapon for Washington for stopping the Eagles, you have to stop Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
Flat out.
And Barkley hung 200 against the Rams. Saquon Barkley is indeed the X factor for today's game.
Right. And that's what the Commanders, I keep wanting to call them the Redskins. That's what Washington's defenders said.
I do call them the Redskins.
Yeah, you do. I apologize for giving you shit about that, though. I apologize for giving you shit about that. Fuck the NFL. Call them the Redskins.
Man, please, you ain't got to apologize for giving me shit about that. Hell, my wife gives me shit about it. And yet, when she made her pick today, I said, be you Eagles or be you Redskins. Her exact statement to me was, logically, I say Philadelphia, but in my heart, I want the Redskins to win. So she calls them the... Man, quit apologizing. We're talking sports and we're having fun.
Yeah, you got to hold them. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this. Because, 21 points seems to be Buffalo's magic number.
Mm-hmm.
If you really look at it, 21 points is their magic number. To me, that's the big game. Because whoever, as far as I'm concerned, if Buffalo wins, they got to go up against Washington. Buffalo wins the Super Bowl. If Buffalo win and they go up against the Eagles,
then Buffalo still wins the Super Bowl.
Their defense, what is their defense against the run? Let's see. Let's take a look. Hold on. Let's see. Bills defense stats. Let's take a look here. But we call it a day. Scoring, returning, kicking. Okay, I don't need all of that. Let's see here. Stats. I need defensive stats. You know what? Why am I on? Hold on. Pro
I don't know.
Football Focus. Pro Football Focus. I said focus. Excuse me. Pro Football Focus. walk into the room. Walk into the room with the freaking shaking baby oils. Oh my God.
Yes. Oh God.
Let me stop. Where did I lose it?
Hey, look, that ain't the only blooper we got on this show today, folks. Okay, Mike Garofalo started it.
Okay, here we go. I was already here. Okay, Buffalo. All right, I was already here. Okay. Oh God damn it! They got. I am not paying for you, Pro Football Focus, just to get some daggone stats. You're killing me.
Mm-hmm.
You're killing me, Whitey. You're killing
Small.
me. All right, let's see here. Okay, here we go. All right.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Stats. Total rushing yards. What is this? Oh, this is the postseason stat. I don't need postseason. I need. Here we go. All right, view all team stats. Let's go. Yep, here we go. All right, let's see here. Here we go. All right. So how are they against the run? What the? I don't. You see what they're giving me, right? They're still giving me playoff stats.
Yep. Of course. They don't want you to see the regular season stats. I know how to handle this.
Yeah, see what you can.
Give me this button here.
Let me. Oh my God, you're killing me. Oh my God, you're killing me.
Okay. Well, come on, it's a conference championship. They're gonna hide everything. You know that.
Because of gambling?
Uh-huh. That's part of it. Here we go. Hassan Chop.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Pro Football Reference. That's where I should have went. Okay, here we go.
There's your key.
Okay, overall ranking. Let's see. Switch to widescreen view. Yeah, switch to widescreen view. Okay, defensive rank. Buffalo Bills. They ranked 11 in points. Let's see here. I don't care about the playoffs. Passer, rusher, receiver, offensive rank, defensive rank in points.
There it is.
Whoop. Let's see, yards. Oh, shoot. Let's just go back to normal. Let's go back to year. All right. So defense was 11th in points, 17th in yards. That is so not good. Let's see here.
And
Margin
Kansas
of
City loves
victory.
to pile up the yards.
Yeah. Margin of victory, 9.2. Strength of schedule, simple rating, offensive or defensive. Oh, my God.
Huh. Wonder what that means.
I know.
Timed perfectly.
They are not giving me what I need. They're not giving me what I need.
Well, they're averaging 29 points in the playoff games coming into today.
Right. But what is...
They were second in scoring at 39 points per game. They were 11th in scoring defense at 21-6.
Where do they rank in defensive yards per game?
Yards per game, huh? Oh, dang it. Here, do this.
I think I may have it.
Do this the old-fashioned way. Screw this. Hassan Shop. $341.5.
What are they against the run?
Okay. Clear that. 17. They allow 115.4.
They average 115.4 yards rushing a game on defense.
They allow 115 yards rushing yards per game.
They're not going to beat the Eagles.
Most of the time that teams attack them, they attack them through the air.
They're not going to. That's not going to help them. If they make it to the Super Bowl against the Eagles, that's going to be a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a shootout because their defense is just, you giving up 100 yards plus on the ground.
It's going to be the highest scoring Super Bowl maybe in history.
That's going to be, oh my God, these guys are in trouble. They have to play Washington. That's the only way I see them having a cakewalk in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they're not going to beat them. They're going to have a. Okay, I'm not going to say they're not going to beat them. Let's just be honest, but it'll be a good game. Anyway,
I'm just waiting for them to return back to being the Redskins. For Washington to go back to being the Redskins. Because frankly, this Washington Commanders stuff ain't working for me. So what say you? Who are you picking today?
Bills, Commanders. That's who I'm picking today. But I get the feeling it's going to be Bills, Eagles.
Eagles. Mm-hmm.
Who you got?
Well, we're split in this household. We're both picking the Redskins, but she's picking the Chiefs. I want Buffalo to spring the upset. And I want them to do it in Kansas City. Is it going to be a shootout like it was 3 years ago? Yeah, it is. And it just might require overtime.
I think it's going to come down to the Bills wide receivers who earlier on in the first quarter of the season, they were dropping everything.
They were trash.
Yeah, they were trash. But then after that, all of a sudden they found their hands. These guys start making plays.
They woke up.
Yeah, who was the number 0, Shahir or whatever?
Yeah. Oh, shucks. I erased it and I shouldn't erase it. See, all this stuff that I do for prep for the games. Yeah. I'm glad I saved it. I gotta make sure I have my lineups for today.
All right. So yeah, Shakir and Coleman and Samuel came to life.
Curtis Samuel's gonna be huge for them today.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel is going to be huge for them today.
I would not be surprised if Amari Cooper turned in at least one big catch, if
not two.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Amari Cooper turns in a 200-yard game. But they got to go. They have to not be afraid to go to him.
You know what? I don't. He's got to trust.
There we go.
He got to trust him.
Yep.
He got to trust
Absolutely.
him. It all comes down to trust. Because let's just be honest. It's not like Amari Cooper can't play. It's just I don't think Allen trusts him yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. You have to trust him. You got to trust him. Okay, that's the Eagles.
Shakir led the team with 76 receptions. The second highest was the tight end Kincaid at 44.
They have two good tight ends. Two good tight ends they can use.
Oh,
Especially
Dawson
in
Knox.
short yardage situations.
Yeah.
Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid.
Let's see. Knox had 22 receptions this year. He did not. It's funny for them to be a passing team. In all honesty, they were not big on passing this year.
No.
Let's just be honest. They were
weren't.
more of a running team this year than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. James Cook, he had 207 carries for 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns. Shit. He had more, what? Excuse me. He had more rushing touchdowns than your boy had passing touchdowns, didn't he?
Yep.
Let me see. 17.
That's why they love the run. They love to run because now they have a bell cow running back. Take lessons, Dallas Cowboys. Take lessons, Cleveland Browns. Gotta have a bell cow. If you're gonna run any form of the West Coast offense, you gotta run the football. Period.
Oh, I was wrong. My bad. He had 28 passing touchdowns this year.
Okay.
But that's low for Josh Allen.
It is.
That's low for
And
Josh Allen.
I'd rather have it be low because now you have a bell cow running back.
Right. You got Ray Davis to back him up.
Now. You now have a bell cow running back.
You see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ray Davis, he went for 442. Of course, Allen 531. So you've got over what? Yeah, it looks to be over 2,000 yards rushing. That's pretty good for an NFL offense, especially in a passing offense.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
And what say you, sir, on your picks?
Yeah, I pick I said Buffalo. I'm picking Buffalo, Washington, even though I know the Eagles will probably
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see a pair of upsets. My mind knows better, but my heart's going with it. I'm going with it.
All right. Let's get out of here.
Yep. Let's
I need to
get
go get I need to get in
on
the
at
shower.
the top of the hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on it. I gotta get a good luck kiss, and I'm on at the top of the hour.
Little luck of the Irish there.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I gotta get a kiss from the woman who gave me this little dragon to put on my desk because that's her nickname. That's her nickname for me. She calls me her dragon. So
all right.
Because I'm so damn protective of my family.
I feel you. I appreciate you hanging out. I just wanted to get some football in, some football.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. Text me when we close out. All right.
You got it.
Peace.
Thanks,
See you next week.
partner.
In 2 weeks. See you in 2 weeks. Super Bowl.
2 weeks.
I'm not Captain Saberhole. No, real so. I'm not Captain Saberhole. Yeah, no. Look, I'm not like this in the slightest. I'm attracted to intelligent chicks to think.